Hi and welcome to eSpanish. Today we're going to look at the future tense. Okay, so the basics first of all. We use the future tense to talk about actions that are going to happen in the future, which isn't really surprising, I suppose. And we can translate the future using the following constructions in English. So we can say things like, I will go, they'll eat or they will eat, she'll go on holiday, and we are going to go to the shop. So whenever you're translating the future back into English, you can use these constructions. Now, the first thing to get your head around is that there are two ways of forming the future in Spanish. We're going to look at both now. The first way of doing it is using a construction you probably saw at GCSE, and it's quite simple to construct. You take the verb ir in the present tense, so voy, vas, va, vamos, vais, van, and you add on to that an a, and then the infinitive of the verb you want in the future. For example, I will go would be voy a ir. They will eat would be van a comer. So let's look at how we'd form these phrases here. The first one, I will live, is going to be the yo form, so voy a, and then the infinitive of to live, vivir. She will eat, va a comer. They will speak, van a hablar. We will go, vamos a ir. You guys with vosotros will play, vais a jugar. And then you with usted will work, va a trabajar. Okay, so the next method of forming the future isn't much more difficult than the previous method, but it's quite different from all the tenses we've seen so far. Now the reason is we don't take anything off the infinitive. So whereas in the present tense, for example, we took our infinitive, for example, hablar, and we took off the AR and then put the endings on, here we leave the AR on. So for example, the endings are written out for you here, and to say I will speak, it would be hablar with an E on the end, so hablaré. Now be careful, the accent is needed on these letters because it changes the way we pronounce them. So let's conjugate hablar together. It would be hablaré, hablarás, hablará, hablaremos, hablaréis, and hablarán. Now it's the same endings for AR, ER, and IR verbs. So abrir will be abriré, abrirás, abrirá, etc. Okay, it probably comes as no great surprise to find out there are some irregular verbs in the future. Now what's irregular about some of these verbs is that they don't add the ending onto the infinitive, they have an irregular stem. Now these are listed out for you here. So for example, the verb decir, to say I will say, we don't say deciré, we add the E onto this irregular stem, so we say diré. Diré, I will say. Dirás, you will say, etc. Now one thing all of these irregulars have got in common is they always end in an R. Okay. Now these irregular stems here for the future tense are also the same irregular stems for the conditional, so learn them very carefully because they'll be useful in the future. So how do we say these phrases here in the red box? For example, it won't fit. So the verb is caber, and it's got an irregular stem of C-A-B-R. So we say no cabrá. She'll know is going to be sabrá. Will come, vendremos. You'll speak, hablarás. I will go out, saldré. And she won't have it, no lo tendrá. Okay, some textbooks say that the ir plus a plus infinitive construction is used for the immediate future, whereas the other one is used for actions that are going to happen in the medium to long term. That's not technically true, okay? So you can say things like el año que viene vamos a ir de vacaciones, so next year, even in 10 years' time. So what those textbooks say isn't quite true. In spoken language, the ir plus a plus infinitive construction is more common. That doesn't mean you can ignore the other one. You need to learn both. Now, there is an additional usage of the second construction, the infinitive plus the endings, which is quite useful. and we can use it to translate phrases in English like must. It's basically when you're trying to guess what is happening, when you're trying to express probability or wonder. For example, the English construction here, the first example, the telephone rings and Pilar says, who is it? ¿Quién será? Who must it be? The second example, two friends are together and one asks the other, who doesn't have a watch, what time is it? And the friend, because they haven't got a watch, they can reply, no sé, serán las dos, meaning it must be around 2 o'clock. Okay. A final example, if your mum says to you, where's your dad? And you're not sure where he is, you can have a guess and say, for example, estará en el jardín, so he must be in the garden. Okay, so use the second method we've just seen, so the infinitive plus the endings, or the irregular stem plus the endings, to put the verb in brackets into the future tense. So press pause now and check your answers once you've done. Okay, let's check your answers. The first one, mis padres, so the subject is them, they. Mis padres hablarán. So we take the infinitive, hablar, and put on an with the accent. Someone will tell me the truth. Alguien me dirá. Now, decir, don't forget, is an irregular stem. So it's not decirá, it's dirá. The third one, yo no perderé. I won't miss your party. The next one, mi familia no irá. So don't forget, even though your family's got more than one person in it, the noun is singular. So la familia. So it's not irán. Mi familia no irá a México este año. Number 5, en el futuro la gente tendrá. So will have robots. Yo haré mi tarea tarde esta noche. I'll do my homework late tonight. Tú no cabrás en ese coche. You won't fit in that car. Now remember, accents are important here. Without the accent, this would mean goats, which obviously isn't quite right. Number 8, en el futuro ustedes serán abogados. Number 9, ¿cuántas personas irán a tu casa esta noche? And number 10, ¿qué tipo de bebidas habrá en la fiesta? The verb haber.